Well, Australia's ICC T20 Men's World Cup campaign gets underway here in Barbados in a match against Oman, who went down in quite a thrilling super over match in the end to Namibia first up.
Yep.
Most people would just say, Aaron Finch, easy game. Australia, 1 win first up.
Never an easy game in T20 cricket, particularly on a surface that probably favours Oman more than it would Australia. We've seen in the 2 games played here, well, 1.5 games, a slow surface that's spinning. It's a bit unpredictable, so Australia will have to be at their best.
Well, what sort of state do you think Australia are going into this tournament? They're seeing a few teams play. Most people think they're up there amongst the favourites.
Yep.
You're probably going to be a bit biased.
Always
yourself.
biased, yep.
See, honesty, that's why we know.
Unashamedly.
Oh, well, but take off your Australian hat for a moment.
Yep.
Look across the board. Where do Australia fit?
I think Australia have got a good side. They're very well rounded. They're very well balanced. They've got the ability to play a few different type of teams, different structured teams, whether they go really all-rounder heavy and lengthen their batting, or they go 2 spin, or they go 3 quicks, 4 quicks. They've got a lot of options, which is good.
Mitch Marsh, of course, coming back from injury, won't bowl for the first part of the tournament. Does that affect things at all, or it's just easy for Australia because of that, the amount of all-rounders they've got?
Yeah, I don't think it matters too much. I think they've got the ability to play Stoinis, Maxwell, who will be both really important on this surface. Cameron Green's also an option there, and I expect that they'll go in 4 frontline bowlers as well. So I don't see the impact of Mitch's bowling or not bowling being effective on this wicket.
What kind of a captain do you think he's going to be?
Very relaxed captain, someone who understands the game really well. He's got the support of everyone there, and that's job number 1. Make sure you've got all the players, and he certainly does. He's a great person. He's the one person that brings the change room together. You never hear a bad word spoken about him. He'll be really cool and calm under pressure, and at various stages in the tournament, things will get hot. So he'll be really important.
Are you kidding? It's hot all the time.
It's very hot already,
and it's very humid. Speaking of which, what might the conditions do to Australia or do to this match?
Well, the 2 games that we've seen so far have been on the same wicket, but judging by looking at the entire square, there's no grass to be found anywhere. So they'll continue to be dry and slow and spinning and inconsistent bounce. I think there's a lot of rain, so I can't see how the curator has enough time to try and change the wicket or anything. So Australia will have to adapt to that really quickly.
Can that be a bit of a leveller?
Can be, yeah, absolutely. When you've got inconsistent surfaces and ones that provide a little bit more of an even contest between bat and ball, that brings the sides together, no doubt.
Now, Oman, they probably threw it away a little bit against Namibia.
Do you think?
Well, yeah, I think
they got lucky to get to the Super Over. I thought Namibia was well in front of the game, and they were the ones that almost threw it away.
They almost threw it away, and then you felt like Oman almost threw it away by going to the wrong bowler for the Super Over.
Well,
in my opinion,
that's all subjective, isn't it? And you can sit back at the end of a game and say, well, they should have done this, or they should have done that, and they made the wrong call. But in the moment, you've got a lot of experience there. You've probably got a gut feel for what you needed on that surface. So it's crucial. It's brutal, on the decision when we're talking about it retrospectively.
Yeah, but is this one of those games where we've seen a few scares in this tournament given to the top teams? How do you, as a captain, when you're a captain of Australia, stop your team being from complacent going into a match like this?
Well, there'll be never any complacency, because you understand the nature of the tournament is so hard, and especially when you've got some wickets that aren't 100% true and you can just walk out and blast the ball out of the park and overpower teams, you have to be a bit more strategic and you have to be a bit more clinical. So I think Australia will be going in just saying, let's do the basics well. If we do the basics well for 40 overs, we'll be okay.
And one thing too, with all this rain around, what does that do to your captaincy? Because we've seen in the Scotland and England game, England looked to be right behind the ball there, really, once that rain started to fall. How much does that affect your thinking?
Well, as a captain, you always take it into account, probably more so in the toss and maybe your use of your bowlers. But apart from that, you're probably trying to keep things as basic as possible.
Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what Australia does. Whatever you're watching throughout this World Cup, make sure that you keep it locked on to ESPNcricinfo.
Introducing the epic new Swift. Time to go swifting.